sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to nceling. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button and turn on your notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you and to all my members. You all are super sweet and I am so grateful. Thank you so much. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about this anti-blackness going on, especially in with Hispanic and Dominicans. Because it's just crazy how I see someone that look like me come out to tell me that I don't look like you. We are not the same. We don't have the same complexion, or even someone darker than me. I mean, touch their head and say, no, there is no, I am not black. I am this, I am that. And then they also look for a way, like, if there is where black person is going to benefit, they look for a way to run there and try to benefit from. You do not want to associate with African Americans. You do not want to associate with black people. I mean, black people are actually not begging you to associate with them. But seeing someone that look like me tell me that I am not black is just disgusting. I am not going to lie to you. And somebody is saying that a Dominican is also saying that I am so happy that I am not, like, I am so happy that my ancestors were able to come to Dominican, and if not, I don't know what I would have been doing in Africa. Probably I would have been a Buddhist crasher. And I am asking, does it mean that, like, we Africans, like, are we Buddhist crashers or something? Because I don't understand the narrative, or I don't know. It's also media also is trying to, like, when you see the media is showing a hungry African baby, like, all through the media. So people also, but then I keep saying, if the media is showing you something else, why not make your research? But then I am just going to roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it, and I absolutely want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. Watch this video to the end, because the ending is where the main gist is. So I am rolling the clip.
I know black. I know black. I know black. Imposible. I know black. I'm Dominican. I'm Puerto Rican. I know black. Be looking just like me. Be having the same hair. I be touching you like, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same, papi. It's not the same. They try to salsa that shit off. I be like, no, it's not the same. I know black. Negro nunca, nunca. I know no, nunca. I know black. I'm like, no, you black. No, no, no. I know black. Dominica. I go, I know, but you're black. No, 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 papi. I know black.
I've failed miserably. Anti-black Dominicans think that I give about what they think about me, or their theories about how we are mostly white, which is not true, by the way. But yes, they think that they can threaten me. One of them even told me that he was going to sue me for defamation because I dare to say that Dominicans deny their blackness, which they have been doing. These people feel so strongly about this topic that they have spent I don't know how many hours commenting on my videos where I talk about blackness, and basically replying to people agreeing with me, trying to convince them that I am wrong, when the majority of the people commenting are telling me that they have the same experience. Dominicans saying, no, I'm not black, I am Dominican, as if we are not descendants of Africans that were enslaved as well. And I've failed because they think that I care about them stitching my videos and taking my videos to tell me how unpatriotic I am. They literally think that by calling me names and telling me how unpatriotic I am, I'm going to stop talking the truth. Because I am not lying. I grew up in the Dominican Republic. I was born in the Dominican Republic. I heard people telling me that I had to marry white so that I could improve the race or mejorar la raza. I always heard how I was so lucky to have straight hair because everybody else had what they call pelo malo, or bad hair. They used to call me names because I had big lips in school. Era la bembua. And I was a kid and I had a whiter friend and she had smaller lips, and I would cry and I would beg God to give me those smaller lips so that I could be white enough. Because even though I was blondie, I was white in the Dominican Republic, I still had features. And I will look at my friend Anna, her name is Ana de la Perlita, in case she sees this, and I will be like, I wish I had her lips because she had smaller lips. And even I, as a kid, understood how good it was that I was lighter skinned. Whenever I would fight with one of my sisters who is like darker than me, she would say that I was too skinny, and I would tell her that she was too dark. And yes, now as an adult, I see it, and I'm ashamed of the fact that as a kid, I used my whiteness against my own sister. And now that I am an adult and I think about that, I should text her and acknowledge how wrong I was. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna ask her if she remembers how how I was a little bit whiter than her against her. I feel terrible about that. But I acknowledge how we grew up in the Dominican Republic and how I am not the same person that didn't see that because it's normalized in the Dominican Republic. Anti-black Dominicans who deny their blackness came for me in the comment section. And as you can see, they want to be associated to the colonizer and not the slaves. They want to be associated with Europeans and not Africans. And even the white people in the Dominican Republic are the smallest minority, they still want to be associated with Europeans. And the funny thing is that everybody that was commenting is closer to being black than white. And that hurts them. This Empire King guy with the Dominican flag goes to every single video that talks about blackness in the Latin community to basically say the same thing he was saying in my comment section, like 100 comments just by him and another girl that is also a black Dominican in denial. Average Dominican is way more than 50% European. You're not even a quarter. Dominicans, the average Dominican is not 50% European. We have our own country and we don't have to fit to be embraced or accepted like African Americans in the United States. Haitians are literally our brothers. I have no Haitian sibling. Because in the video I said that Haitians are literally our brothers. We share a fucking island. And this girl, Quisqueya, come on, that's what we call our country. And her username is Quisqueya. You can see where I'm going with this one. The answer is simpler than that, but you want to turn it on Dominicans for clout like you always do. I have like 100 other comments from her too, denying her blackness. And she even mentioned something about me being racist towards Mexican and Haitians at the border when I was clearly defending them. I defend Haitians from whatever atrocities are committed against them in the Dominican Republic. And yes, that doesn't make me any less Dominican. I just accept the facts the way they are, and I acknowledge when something is wrong, even if it's the country that I was born in and that I grew up in. Something apparently they cannot do because apparently that makes them less patriotic. As you can see here, the majority of Dominican people identify as mixed race, which includes mestizo or indio and mulatto. A smaller percentage of Dominican people identify as black and even a smaller percentage as white. And as you can see, only a small percentage of Dominican accept their blackness. The other ones are black, but they just don't identify as such, because they are a little bit lighter than the Dominican that identifies as black. But the fact that they decide to reject their blackness does not mean that they are not black, and does not mean that our country is mostly black. And I'm gonna make another video to talk more about history and why there's this anti-blackness in the Dominican Republic, where I don't have to cite all of these racist Dominicans who are denying their blackness, because honestly, it's tiring. But I'm tired of Dominicans and Latin people denying our African roots. This is a conversation that we have to have because a lot of Dominicans do not want to hear this. In fact, when they are seen as black here in the United States, they say, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. And yes, as I mentioned before, I am Dominican. My mom is white and my father, it's not necessarily black, but close enough. This is my mom. She's literally white, and when she was a kid she was also naturally blonde, and she has green eyes. This is me and my siblings, and as you can see, I'm this one, and I was blonde. Here is a picture with my dad. This is me again with my siblings, and I was the only sibling who was kind of blonde like my mom. And as a kid, people made me feel as if I was more valuable just because I was blonde. Like I was better than my siblings. Like, oh, she's la rubia, you know, they used to say those things to me because I was blonde. And when my father would go out with me by himself without my mom, people wouldn't think that I was his kid. But yes, in Latin America and here, everywhere, whiteness, the closer you are to whiteness, the better you are. That's what they teach us in the Dominican Republic. In Latin America, here in the United States, I would say that in the entire world. And that's what colonialism left us. Because especially in the Dominican Republic, remember that our history, we live in an island that we share with Haiti. And I would say that 99% of people in Haiti are black. In the Dominican Republic, I will have to go back to history to 1505 with the devastation of Osorio, where basically they devastated the part of the island that is now Haiti, and then the Spanish moved to the part that it's the Dominican Republic, and they were mixing with the slaves and the indigenous people. But the French, the Portuguese, and the people who came with slaves to the part that today is Haiti, they wouldn't mix with them. They brought their women. The Spanish didn't bring women, so they were having sex with slaves and indigenous women. That's why in the Dominican Republic, you can see white people, black people, people in the middle. We are mixed, more mixed than they are in Haiti. And then our history, our independence was from Haiti. So there you have the history of Dominicans seeing Haiti as the oppressor, basically. And then in Haiti, obviously, they have more black people than in the Dominican Republic. And then it's not only about blackness that is rejected in the Dominican Republic, they even see it as something patriotic about it. And then they reject the blackness, not only because of culture, because they want to disassociate themselves from Haitians, but then when they come to the United States, they say that they're not black, even though literally we are descendants of Africans too. And Haitians are literally our brothers. 3 minutes is not enough to talk about this.
Black people in the Dominican Republic say things like, yo no soy negro, soy dominicano. Why are black people in the Dominican Republic trying so hard not to be black and or acknowledge their African ancestry? And rather than saying, yes, I'm black, I'm African descent, they'll say, I'm not black, I'm Hispanic. And sure, technically, because they speak Spanish, they are Hispanic, sure. But speaking the language of the Spaniards that took away everything you are, your culture, your ethnic identity, and your language, and then replace it with theirs, that doesn't make you them. But in this case, African descending people in the Dominican Republic are denying the fact that they descend from somewhere in Africa, more than likely Nigeria, and completely denying the descent and saying, I'm not black, I'm Hispanic. There is such a shame in being black. And what I've come to understand is that when I was a little kid, every single time that I turned on the TV and they showed anything in regards to Africa, they would show all the hungry little kids with the little bubble stomachs digging in the trash and all types of poverty, the most degrading and inferior conditions that people can be depicted as is all I ever saw anytime something about Africa was depicted on television. There was a rapper who did an interview and said, I'm so thankful for slavery because if not for Europeans going over to Africa and bringing us to America, I'd still be an African booty scratcher right now. So you see, that is very sad and obviously so much internal hatred. But the real question is it their fault? The macro media pushes this narrative and agenda that the standard of beauty is white and everything about the African, what we were taught in American TV is inferior and everything that was been taught about the white folk is superior, elegance, royalty, right? Then you realize that dark skin and or black is associated with poverty and inferiority. So then when Dominicans say, I'm not black, it's like saying, no, I'm not poor, I'm not inferior, I'm Hispanic, I'm superior. This is internalized racism, absolutely. But if you do some research, you realize it makes sense why we're like this, why we don't want to associate ourselves with what we've been indoctrinated to believe is poor, inferior, and everything negative. We want to associate ourselves with everything that is beautiful, superior, and class.
So this is all I got from this video. I mean, she really came all out for them. But then I keep hearing all these, excuse me, Dominicans and all that's denying their black side. I mean, I really do not understand it so well because I don't understand the anti-blackness. And sometimes I see someone blacker than me. I don't want to darker, I mean blacker than me. When you see them, I mean, first of all, you are going to say, oh my God, this is my, I mean, like, you know, when you meet someone that you don't actually do not know and you see that this person is black, first of all, the person you're going to say, oh my God, this is how I see black person, or this is like, you know, my brother and all that. Only for you to get closer and they will tell you, sorry, I am not black, I am Dominican. And I am like, bro, you look darker than me, you look like, you know, how do you explain all this? Sometimes I find it really hard seeing them denying their black side. They only identify with their black side when there is something beneficial to it. But aside from that, they are always denying their black side, and they are always like, but then it's just crazy because white people also I don't know how to, but it's really crazy. I mean, the white person will see you as a black person. Other black people will see you as a black person, you know? I don't understand why you are denying that black side of your, I mean, not just only denying that, like, they do not want to actually associate, identify as black. And that is just a horrible thing to do. I mean, when I went through this young lady's videos and I saw so many of them bashing her, telling her that they are not black, they should stop, she should stop identifying or stop saying that they are black, that they are Dominicans and the rest of it. I mean, like a lot of them, like, you know, were just on her. And it shows the anti-blackness in their community. I really do not understand, but then it's okay if you all do not want to associate with black people or associate yourself with blackness. That is great, but please do not always look for a way to benefit from that blackness you do not want to identify with. When you see anything happening in black community and it is of great thing, please do not also benefit from it. Don't. You don't have to. I keep saying, that's why, like, all these Uncle Rucos that I used to see on on TikTok and all that, I keep saying it. If peradventure they are paying reparations, please, you are not entitled. You should never collect that reparation because you did not fight for it. You never spoke for it, right? So, yeah, basically this is all I got to say. And I absolutely want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. So I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.